Hello everybody, welcome back to my video here. As you can see on the title page, this is something that I've wanted to talk about or do a video on, and it's on my thoughts and opinions on the live action Transformers films, and also where it seems to be going down, the direction it seems to be going down. I also will just say I apologise if I seem to go off track and I seem to have gaps in between me speaking. I am absolutely exhausted today. It's my day off, and I've not had that much sleep during the night, and I had to get up at I had to get up pretty early this morning and take my auntie to doctors. And since I got back from doing that, I've literally just had no energy. So I do apologise, but as I've got the time at hand, I want to get this video out. So I just want to say I apologise for how I come over. I know I shouldn't be apologising because I do get a lot of stick for saying I'm sorry for things, but yeah, presentation is everything with a lot of people, and how I present myself. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. But I like to present myself as somebody as honest and normal and natural as possible. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway. So yeah, moving on. As you can see on the title page down there, I'm talking about my thoughts on where it seems to be going, and my thoughts generally on the live action films. Now, I've spoken about the live action films in the past, the ones that have actually already been out. But what my discussion is going down is more or less down the cinematic universe route. Now, it's kind of been confirmed that there's going to be another total of 10 more films. It is going to consist of a mixture of prequels, sequels, and spin-offs. Very much similar to the Star Wars. Excuse me. Very similar to the Star Wars cinematic universe coming out as well, because that one's got spin-offs, prequels, and sequels, sequels, and spin-offs. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, when it comes to the Transformers live-action films, I am eager to check out more because I am a Transformers fan, and I do enjoy to go to the cinema, and I do enjoy to check up and watch all the process up to when it's in the very early stages of production, when they start to announce who's going to be on the Autobot side and who's going to be on the Decepticon side, and also when the actual plot starts to kind of come out. I'm interested to kind of follow that to the point where it actually ends up, I can go and see it at cinema. Now, we don't know what's happening with, obviously, for the future of the films. We don't know what's actually really happening when it comes to directors or director, because we know Michael Bay. Well, it's kind of been hinted that Michael Bay could be coming back for the 5th film, but yet apparently he was labelled out as not coming back because he was going to be directing another film that is set for release next year. And he's also got another big budget film coming out, I think, the year after. He is Michael Bay is under contract with Paramount for 2 more films, which is a normal budget film, and then you've got a summer blockbuster budget film. But nobody actually really knows what the summer blockbuster film is. Is it Transformers? Is it something else? Because he has been rumoured in making other things, being part of creating other stuff, but we don't know what's happening. All we know is in speculation of things. But we don't even know if Steven Spielberg's going to be back as an executive producer. We don't even know if he's back, because there is literally no idea of who's going to be editing the film, who's going to be producing it, who's going to be executive producing it, who's going to be directing it, who's going to be... Well, all we know is who's going to be writing it. We know that there is a new team of writers. They're all going to be sputtering off writing that. That's that one. Well, maybe 1 or 2 writers are going to be spiraling off in different directions, and they're going to be writing the scripts for all the other films, as well as the main films, which are the sequels to, from Age of Extinction onwards. And also, then there's going to be people doing the spin-offs and prequels. So this Akiva Goldsman, he's the head writer of the group, and he's writing the main story, I believe. Akiva Goldsman, now, I believe some of the films he's been a part of in the writing side have not been the best films. I believe I think he was the main writer on I Am Legend, I believe. I'm not sure if that's true. But, yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't think this guy's going to be as bad as the guy we've had, the guy that's been there since 2007 to now. I'm actually glad that that the live action films, Transformers films, are getting a brand new writing staff, because I'm actually getting very sick of the same story structure each film. Because in every single film we've had, they have been so boring. Well, I would say so boring, but yeah, they've had some entertaining factor to them when it comes to the bottom bot fighting, mainly, because that's what I go to watch them for. I don't go for the cinematic acting. I say that with exclamation because there's no acting in those films. But I mean, they've become a bit boring, really, if I have to be brutally honest, because even though I do enjoy them, the story and structure and everything about the films are more or less identical. You got the 2007 film, which was original, and it was really, I thought that was as close as you're going to get to a G1 plot, where the Autobots come to Earth, they interact with Sam Witwicky and his family and his girlfriend Megan Fox, or whatever I've forgotten her name, Michaela, that's right, Michaela. The only thing where it seems to slump is more or less where they put that ridiculous amount of comedy in there, mainly with the dog, young lad buying his first car, which was kind of something you shouldn't really have put in there, but they had to in order for kids to relate to it, or people to relate to that. You know, a young kid getting his first car and all that, they wanted that as possibly a relatable thing. But it didn't really work in a Transformers film. But to be honest, the 2007 film, when it came to the interaction, I thought it had a good 50-50 gap. I thought it was decent enough. I thought there was enough human side, and I thought there was a decent enough of the robot side. I thought I thought it was quite 50-50 down the side. You know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't overpowering on the human side, but you had a good amount of robot interaction as well. And Megatron was actually probably at his best in that film. You know, Megatron was Megatron. He was Megatron in the 2007 film. But then you come to Revenge of the Fallen. Megatron has a massive overhaul. He looks pretty badass, actually. I like that he's got that mixture of tank tracks on his legs, and he looks quite menacing. I actually prefer the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron to the first Megatron. And his aesthetic look, I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, you get Revenge of the Fallen, and it's just it starts off promising, and then after the forest battle, it just goes completely down end. Because obviously, due to the writers' strike and everything, I can understand why this film didn't do as good as it's supposed to have done. I think if the writers' strike hadn't have happened, I think this film would have been a lot better than it turned out to be. But unfortunately, the finished product was not good enough, and it was very confusing, and I didn't like it. But yet, it had a very similar feeling to the 2007 film, but yet it had a lot more unnecessary comedy factor in the Revenge of the Fallen film than you did back in the 2007. So you had more human interaction than robot interaction. That's why I hate Revenge of the Fallen. That is my least favourite out of all of them. Because you don't have what we all go to cinema to see. We go to see the Transformers. We don't go to see Sam Witwicky Fiat or featuring Transformers. We don't go to see that film. We go to see Transformers, not the other way around. And then Dark of the Moon, bit more of a, better than Revenge of the Fallen. The best characters in there are the Wreckers. I think they're the best characters in there. And then you've got the backstabbing, Sentinel Prime. Then you've got Shockwave that speaks like once and shows up about 3 times, and I was like, how could you portray Shockwave in that light? And he gets taken out by humans. Oh yeah, and I concur with you, Tony. I concur with you if you're watching this, Tony, son of SG1. If you're watching this, dude, I concur. Bumblebee took out Soundwave, and I understand yeah. When I saw that, it was a pretty cool kill though. I give its due. Blow his block off, pretty cool. But Bumblebee taking down Soundwave, fuck off. More or less the other way around. Yeah, I was really hoping for Soundwave to put a bullet, just blow his head away in front of Sam. I was like, please. But no, Soundwave was Ash, and I didn't like that. And plus, I didn't like they made Soundwave into a car, and I didn't really like that either. Especially in Mercedes, he looked like I don't know. It didn't look like he should. I just didn't like it. But yeah, so where I'm going from with this is, obviously I'm overtired, so I'm going on a completely different tangent here, but each film had a very similar feel to it. None of them really had anything else to offer. All they had was different characters coming into the equation. You had this character that shows up in about 2 scenes and then it's disappeared again. There's 0 character development past, from Revenge of the Fallen through to Age of Extinction. There is no character development. Even though I do like Age of Extinction because you do have more robot interaction. It's well balanced with the human interaction side, so it felt very much like the 07 film when it came to the bad side and the good side. But again, you had there's an overpoweringness of the human side again at the same time. But yet you actually did have a proper bad guy for once. I thought Lockdown was awesome. I really did enjoy Lockdown. But getting back on track, the cinematic universe, I really want something to happen. From my opinion on these films, I'm not a big fan of them all essentially being the same script, just recycled over and over again, and just very slight plot changes made to the scripts. It is extremely lazy writing. There is no creativity in the scripts and storylines and storyboards at all. Everybody can understand that. There's just nothing there. It's just recycled material with slight changes to make it seem different, but it isn't. It's the same. But I'm really glad that Akiva Goldsman is the head writer, and that there's all these other writers that are with him discussing where it's going to go from Age of Extinction, and also where it's going to go to branch out into different films. And I'm really eager to see some of these spin-off films as well, because they've said that they're going to be doing a spin-off film based on. Apparently, it's going to be a prequel film, obviously. But again, it's a spin-off. But they're going to be making a one-off film all based on Cybertron. And I really hope that is true. Because whether you're a G1 fan or not, I love G1, but I like all the Transformers series. I am a fan of the fandom as a whole. Okay? I don't have a specific favourite, I'm just a fan of it as a whole. I love the Transformers as a whole. So, but I really, ever since the '07 film, I have been like, I really hope they did do one on Cybertron. I really hope they do one on Cybertron, where you see a live action perspective of. I mean, I hope that they go down the route of. Are you ready up to go down the route of. What can I say here? Just before the war started,